Hello Hanji Kiddan, what's up people? Back with another video, and hopefully the attire is giving it away, the yellow tie. Yes, it is a transfer special video. Before we get into anything though, you know we gotta do the shout outs. Massive shout outs to Angel Care Homes for all your care needs in the Black Country and Birmingham area. Massive shout outs to Mark Darcy for all your formal menswear needs. And of course to Desi Ballers, highlighting all South Asians at all levels in the beautiful game. I'll put their details in the description, so make sure you check them out. And like I say each and every time on these videos, if you're brand new here or if you ain't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button and turn the notifications on. We want to hit 5k subscribers by the end of the season. We've just hit 1200. Big up to all you legends that have subscribed and engaged. And of course, make sure you put your thoughts in the comments. Love reading all that, all your thoughts and all your predictions and all the rest of it. But yeah, man, let's get to it. So yeah, man, just doing these series of videos, if you like. We'll call them the Town Transfer Talk, Triple T. Or if you got a better suggestion for the name of the videos, let me know in the comments. But the idea is we'll report on all the transfers that have happened, the potential incomings. We don't do all that ITK nonsense around here, obviously. Not to flex, but I did say I'm the Oracle. And you know, like I said, we were going to sign us someone over the weekend. That happened. And I said to you when we did the Fulham review that we'd get a signing in by this weekend. That's happened. So the Oracle is back, obviously. And we'll get into the incomings. We'll talk about the outgoings. But I thought I had to dust off the blue blazer. You know, get the yellow tie. Not quite the Jim White gold tie. Obviously, this has got a bit of a pattern on it. I think it was from my... was this from Ranul's wedding? It's from someone's wedding we wore this at. And then, yeah, man, the shirt needed all ironing and that was all long. So we went with something else white. But can you name the season this shirt's from? But let me know in the comments. But yeah, man, this is my transfer look, if you like. Let's go. Come on, then. So yeah, let's go. Let's get into it, then. So Town have signed Ben Godfrey. Ben Godfrey, that we've got him on loan for the rest of the season. We've taken him from Atlanta. Atlanta, who are second in the table. I think they're 3 points behind Napoli. But they have a game in hand. So they're battling for that Serie A title. They signed Ben Godfrey over the summer. So he's only been there, well, less than 6 months or so. Hasn't really worked out for him. But he's a player with immense Premier League talent. So he's a product of the York City Academy or team, or he come through that team. And then it was in 2016, January 2016, he took rather the brave step, because a player that is, you know, young in your career, you're always looking to develop and move forward. And in January 2016, he took the step down from York City and went to... I can't say the name. The scum up the road that play in yellow and green and haven't been relevant for 50 years. But he took the step down from York City, went to them. I believe he signed as a defensive midfielder. So he was seen someone that was a kind of a bit of a CDM or whatever. And then during his time, I think he went the following season. He then linked up with former Town manager and Town players. So Town manager Paul Hurst and Toto Inciala and John Nolan when he went to Shrewsbury Town. And that was the year that Shrewsbury Town finished third and lost in the playoff final. Probably one of their best seasons as a club in recent years. And Ben Godfrey played primarily as a defender alongside Toto as well in that team. And then he came back to that small club. And then at that small club, they did manage to fluke a win and win the championship. And then they managed to get into the Premier League flukily or whatever. There's I don't know, sometimes there's a glitch in the matrix or whatever, and that's what happened. But he got promotion with them. He's played a Premier League season with them. And then after, you know, like that always happens with them up the road, after they got relegated, he signed for Everton. So a couple of stats. So Everton, that was about 20 million deal. So he's made 112 Premier League appearances, because he had about 3 seasons at Everton, and that one for that team. And during that, so he played 66 games at centre-back, where he's got 20 games at right-back and 20 games at left-back. He's got 2 assists from centre-back and he's got 1 assist from left-back. In all competitions, he's made 268 appearances and 112 of them are Premier League. So that's a good 41%, 42% of his total appearances have been in the Premier League. So what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way is he's someone that's got a lot of Premier League experience. And that's something that maybe we've been lacking so far as well. You know, when I've talked about being smarter and a bit, you know, clever with some of whether it's buying a foul or something like that. But yeah, he's got that experience and that should, you know, serve us in good stead. So what does that mean? Where's he likely to come in? So he's pacey. He's very good at getting forward as well. Like I said, he's got a couple of assists there. Hasn't scored a Premier League goal yet. But defensively as well, very much like Axel, he's very good at ground duels. I don't have the stats to hand, but certainly some of the clips and compilations I watched for when he played for Everton, one-on-one defending, really good. And also, you know, one of the profile things that Kieran McKenna and the team like is versatile players. You know, as I said there, he's played at centre-back, right-back and left-back. So for me, he's probably someone that can either play on that right-sided centre-back spot where O'Shea is now, or probably the right wing-back role as well. So that's probably where I see him slotting in. And we'll talk about predicted lineups and what I expect our first 11 to be with the current signings. But yeah, really big signing. I know he's got that association, and jokes aside, he's obviously got the association with them up the road. But he's not a fan of them. He's not their academy product or anything. They bought him from York City, like I said. So for me, it's like it was just a job. He's moved on. So what? And he interviewed very well. I don't know if you've seen it. It's on Town TV. And he talked about how he was just looking forward to getting out there. He obviously talked about the one time he'd played at Portman Road for the Scum, which finished in a 1-1. Although we were winning 1-0 and it did take a deflection of him to go into the back of the net. So big up Andy for raising that. But he seems like a good character. And importantly, you know, the profile of the player, he's 26 years old. He's going to be 27 in January, I think. January 15th, I think, was his birthday. I could be wrong. So, yeah, next week, basically, he's going to turn 27. Someone that's probably in his prime. And yes, it hasn't really worked out for him at Atlanta. But then I don't think Atalanta were expecting to, be challenging for the Serie A title. So, you know, it's obviously restricted his minutes. He has had some minutes though, but he's only made like 5 appearances. He's someone that Everton spent like 20 odd million for. I think Atlanta paid about 12, 13 million for him. So now we got him on loan under the right coach as well. But yes, it's a loan deal. It's just a straight up loan. There's no option. I don't believe there's an option to buy. We're paying, like I said, most of the wages. I think it's a mid 6-figure transfer fee or loan fee even. And like I said, it's someone that's got a lot of Premier League experience. Clearly got the right attributes. You know, when you talk about pace, you talk about one-on-one defending. Can find an assist as well. So hopefully, in theory, it should add a bit more balance to that right-hand side that we've been crying out for seasons now. So, you know, really looking forward to seeing how he performs in a Town shirt. And then the other signing, which whilst the club has not announced it yet, I can confirm is Jaden Philogene from Aston Villa. He signed for £21.5 million on a 4.5-year deal. Player we chased a lot over the summer. From what I understand, he was our number 1 left wing target. So really good to see him back in the door. Well, not back in the door, but in the door, if you like. And I can announce this because I know last time in summer he was at Playford Road and then he left because of the agent stuff and all the rest of it from Villa. A friend of mine, not connected to Ipswich Town, but a friend of mine has confirmed that his agent did text him confirming the deal was done. So, you know, if we think about the circus that his agent caused and all the rest of it, if he's saying the deal's done, then for me, that's as good as done. And I did say to my friend that, tell the agent when we see him, he has to hold a box to the face, man, because all that summer of drama, man. But Philogene is not a villain. He's just a boy that chose our club as the one. But his agent is fucking scum. Big up Sam White on Twitter for putting that there for the Philogene chant to Billie Jean. I'm not going to try and sing it. I can't sing. It will sound like someone, like a cat screaming or something. And if you're listening to this not on your headphones, then you're going to cause a lot of disturbance. So you don't want to hear me sing it, but we will chant it hopefully soon. I've retweeted it anyway on my Twitter, so if you want to see the words, put it there. So who is Jaden Philogene? Jaden Philogene is a right-footed left winger. He likes to cut inside. He's an inverted winger, inverted forward, whatever you want to call them, whatever these fancy bloody names are. We just called them wingers back in the day. But he is that. He'd come from the Villa Academy, so he's actually not actually a Brummie though, which was disappointing, but he's from Hammersmith, so he's got a funny accent. He says glass and bath and all that funniness that you lot say down south. But yeah, he's obviously come from the Villa Academy, had a good season at Cardiff City on loan. Impressed that much in the Championship that Hull City paid £5 million for him to sign him. He had a good season last year at Hull City. Scored a Pukas. I don't even, not Pukas. How do you pronounce it? That Pukas. Scored a Pukas Award nominated goal with that like kind of, what do they call it, where you just flick it behind you? We've seen the goal, right? I think it was against Rotherham or whatever, into the top corner. I think that's the only Championship nominated Pukas goal. Like everything's come from a top tier normally, so history maker there, if you like. But he's a tricky player. He's a ball carrier. He'll get, your bums off your seat and stuff like that as well. And he'll really take the game to defenders. So very much like we've seen with Amari, we're going to have the same sort of thing with Jaden Philogene, or at least I feel that anyway. Obviously, we went back to Villa, and, maybe there was an element of trying to prove yourself or whatever. Probably not at the level to be, top six and top six club at the moment or a starter. But, lot of talent. And obviously he's a young player as well. That's just going to get better and better. And like we've seen with loads of players under McKenna, a couple of seasons under him, what is his ceiling going to be like? So he signed for Villa for about £16 million or £15 million in the summer. They've made about £6 million profit in 6 months. That's £1 million a month or whatever. Nice bit of business for them. Makes sense. I know they're after the Bayern Munich, not Bayern Munich, the Borussia Dortmund lad, Dutch lad. So they'll, need to free up, and you got PSR and all the rest of it. So importantly, though, it's done early in the window. That's two big signings, and we think about that right side now. You got Godfrey, and you've obviously got Amari, and then on the left side you're going to have Davis and Philogene. I mean, what attacking options. Really excited to see how that kind of develops over the season. And that certainly now we've kind of shored up our defensive errors, and we've been a bit more solid. And I know I'm saying this after we drew 2-2 to Fulham, but both were penalties. It wasn't open play and all the rest of it. So lots of positives, and two players that are really going to fit in the Kieran McKenna mould. And also when we talk about experience, so Philogene's only played 11 games in the Prem for Villa and has all been this season. What did he do? So I've got some stats here. So 11 appearances, mostly from the bench, but he did start against Man United and Chelsea. I think they lost to Chelsea, but they beat Man United. And he also started the game where Aston Villa beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League. And then he did about 25 minutes against Bologna and about 5 minutes against Juventus. So bit of Champions League experience as well. So again, adding more and more experience throughout our squad. But like I said, he's a inverted winger, so he's right-footed. But although, maybe it's not his strongest to play on the right, it does show that if needs must, we got players that can play multiple positions. And again, that's what McKenna loves, players that can play multiple roles and all the rest of it. So really, really exciting signing. So what does that mean in terms of our squad depth now? So the rule is for registration is you must have no more than 25 registered players. Players that are 21 or under, or classified as 21 or under. So I think that's born in, if they're born on January 1st, 2003 or after, then they're classified as an under 21 player. So Amari Hutchinson and Liam Delap are classified as under 21 players. But at the moment, with Philogene and Godfrey in the squad, that means that we're at 29 minus the 2 for Delap and Hutchinson. It means we're at 27 players. So 2 players need to make way. It's very likely that Ogbene will be deregistered because his obviously injury is likely to take him out for the rest of the season anyway. So it's very likely he will be deregistered, which obviously frees up one space. And then the other space, we need to then look at squad depth. So I'm going to put this graphic up. I'll come up with this quick little graphic in terms of players. So some keys. We traffic lighted it as well based on when their contract expires as well. And as you can see, there's a few players there that are expiring in 2025 in the summer. So Harry Clark, player that Sheffield Wednesday are after. I believe he's been touted as well. And let's be fair, he's done a job for us, but he's nowhere near first choice. So for him, it's important that he goes and plays football. So I think it will be a transfer. I think we can recoup the $1 million or $1.5 million we paid for him, or we end up loaning him and then selling him in the summer or something from there. But I think Harry Clark will be on his way out. The good thing with the transfer window means that the registration, you can do it on a week by week, so it can fluctuate week by week, and then the final submission has to be done on the 31st or whatever from there. We do know that there are other players that will after, so there's at least 2 more players coming in the door, another winger apparently, or a 10, and another striker. So that would mean obviously 2 more players need to go out. So again, if we look at this this kind of graphic again, I think, well, as we know, it's very likely, and Ali Al-Hamadi will go out on loan. Obviously, he's very raw. He did really well for us in the champ. Has been carrying an injury, and has had some good cameo appearances this season. But he needs more regular football and more regular or regular. Does that make sense? More regular. It's just regular, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Anyway, but he needs regular football, is what I'm trying to say. And there's links with Derby and Blackburn that are both interested in him as well, taking him on loan. And listen, the moment Town say Ali Al-Hamadi is available for loan, he won't be short of suitors. So I think that would make space for a striker who I believe will have bid around £25 million for a striker, or are going to bid that. Obviously, all the details will come out in due course. And then so on the right wing, the only other option would be maybe get an under 21 in. Ben Doak was looked at. So Ben Doak is a right winger who, Scottish international, Liverpool player on loan at Middlesbrough, doing quite well for them this season. Seen as a Scotland star boy, if you like. Quite a tricky player. I've only seen clips online, haven't really seen a lot of him. So I'm just going through YouTube highlights, if you like. But he falls under the category of under 21. We did bid £16 million for him, but that was rejected because Liverpool want to hold out for £30 million. And from what I understand, Liverpool aren't in a rush to sell him this window. They'll probably look at doing it in the summer. So it would have to be a transfer, and it's just whether Ashton can negotiate a deal. I think, something between 20 million-ish is probably a good deal. But I don't think he's worth... I wouldn't pay more than what we've paid for Philogene. So Philogene had a good couple of seasons in the Championship. And, has had a few cameos in the Prem and looked good as well. So that instantly puts his value up. I don't think Ben Doak is worth £25 million. Certainly not at this time. Maybe reassess it, let him have a whole season and reassess it in the summer, because we'll still be in the Prem and we'll be shopping around. But obviously, if it's not an under 21, that means another player will have to go out. And obviously, we are potentially going to look for a midfielder as well. So there could be another 2 or 3 signings in the door before the window's done. So again, like I've said time and time again, Ashton, when it comes to January, this is where he shines. Transfer windows, he shines. And him, Luke Wearing, and the recruitment team so far have delivered again. So absolute big up them mans, absolute legends. And yeah, man, let's look forward to see who else comes in the door throughout the rest of the month. And let's see how many times we can get this tie back on. In terms of outgoings, so like I said, Harry Clark likely to go to Sheffield Wednesday on loan, if not a transfer fee. And I think he'll probably suit that. Is it Danny Rowe? I think he'll suit their style of play as well. The Janoy Donasian, obviously, he hadn't been registered, but he'd obviously been training with the club and all the rest of it. So it looks like he's going to be linking up with Paul Cookie at Chesterfield. So all being well, that'll go through soon, and that'll be good to see JD back in action and playing again. Might actually go and watch a Chesterfield game as well, and maybe do a little vlog there. See how JD's doing. I think Dobra's there as well. Dylan Makandi as well, Punjabi player who come through Spurs Academy, is on loan from Blackburn at the moment. And obviously Black Country legend, former Sheffield Wednesday Oxford player as well, and Wigan player, Mr. Shay Dunkley. So I need to go see him as well. So yeah, man, I think I'm going to go see a Chesterfield game over maybe the international break, or maybe a weekend where, probably international break, because I can't get away with doing 2 days of football, man. Mandy will kill me. But yeah, so Donasian, that looks like a really good signing for Chesterfield, real coup, because, you know, on his day, he's a good championship player, and I'm still convinced that if he wasn't injured, he would have done a job for us in the Premier League this season. We talk about one-on-one defenders, you talk about pace, you know, and getting forward as well. He demonstrated that. I know there was some, like, always a bit defensive, but listen, he got quite a good assist. That link-up, Burns and JD link-up, was something special, man. You know, missed that handshake. Absolutely missed that handshake, man. But yeah, really good for JD, that. And then the other rumour, I don't know how much truth there is, so I need to find out a bit more, is Wolfenden. So I thought it was 2020 again, because Chris Wilder is looking at Luke Wolfenden again. Town fans, we remember when we was in League One and they got promoted to the Prem, and they were looking at Luke Wolfie then as you know, ball playing centre back. He had his overlapping centre backs and all the rest of it. But yeah, it looks like he's a player that is on their radar. But for me, Wolfie needs to stay. You know, he's demonstrated how good he is when he comes into the team. And certainly in a three, I know we've got Godfrey and we've got Twanzebe as well, but, you know, I think it just adds, at the very least, it adds depth. I don't think you let a player of Luke Wolfenden's calibre leave the club. Like, we think about Greaves and Davis and all the rest of it, but Wolfie is another player at a good age, English, homegrown, as a good rest of the season. He could be a player that's 10, 15 million pound or whatever. But yeah, and for me personally, he is one of our own. For me, one of our own is Luke Wolfenden. Wolfie was in the academy. Wolfie never left. Wolfie went out on loan to Swindon, did a really good job out there, come back into the League One team, got bombed out by managers, come back in as well. Like, Wolfie's had it hard, man, but he stood and delivered, and he does it proudly with that Ipswich badge on his chest. It means something to him. It means a lot to him. Not saying it doesn't to anyone else, but yeah, Wolfie's one of our own, man, and I'd be quite upset if he was to be sold. So yeah, man, hopefully, man, I'm going to speak to Ashton on Sunday, man, and just say, yo, tell, what's his name, Chris Wilder, keep his greasy, chip fat hands away from Luke Wolfenden, man. You can't afford him. We need 20 million now, otherwise, and they can't afford him. But yeah, that's the other rumour. There are some other bits circulating, all the rest of it. None of it really any credit or any any material behind it. So I'm not gonna dive into all of that. So yeah, man. Hopefully this video answered some questions you had about our new signings and what's happening in the window. And let me know if you want me to carry on with these videos when we do these signings, or if you'd rather me just cover it when we do the reviews and stuff. You know, basically what I'm saying is, do you want me to get out this tie and this blazer again? Or do we just do it on the reviews and all the rest of it from there? And, you know, hopefully you will like the video. And speaking of like, just scroll down a little, just a bit to the left there. There you go. click that like button. Now go across, yeah, man. Hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on. Like I said, I want to build this channel. There's lots of ideas I've got for content. Obviously, we've got some good connections within the world of football as well. So lots of things we want to do over the summer. And we just want to make sure that more and more people can see the quality content. So, you know, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And we want to get to 5K subscribers by the end of the season. That's probably going to be the end of 2025 now, because if I'm looking at the numbers, ain't looking there. But, you know, it's a target we want to get to. Obviously, we hit 1,000 subscribers well within a year. We're at 1,200 now. All you legends. And of course, make sure you put your comments in, man. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your thoughts on transfers and all the rest of it. All of those comments, all those likes, even the shares, all of that. That all helps with the YouTube voodoo stuff. You know what I mean? The algorithm and all that. And all of these videos will be on Spotify, or are on Spotify now, and they're called like the Blue Army Breakdown. But if you just search my name, so if you search Cali Bisler on Spotify, it will pop up there. And if you have got Spotify and you do want to check it out there, then leave a little 5-star review. You can leave a comment as well. Again, that all helps with the Spotify algorithm. So again, it gets this content out to more and more people that are going to want to see it. Why would you not want to see this round, brown, bearded face? You know what I mean? But yeah, man, big up all you legends that engage. It's been wicked seeing some of you and speaking to some of you guys at the games as well. I did get told I haven't got an approachable face, but I promise you I am a friendly guy. So if you do see me and you want to come have a chat, feel free, man. We're all good, man. But yeah, man, again, big up all you legends, and I will catch you all on Sunday. We are doing the Bristol Rovers game. Obviously, last time we saw them play, or I saw them play, it would have been that 0-0 on Valentine's Day when Sammy had that dickhead fan kicked off with Sammy, and it was 0-0, and everyone was like, we're never going to get out of League One. And then we went on a bit of a mad one. And, you know, I think Walton made some big saves that day. Big up Christian Walton's dad. I remember he was chanting. He was trying to get the crowd going that day as well. But I think Walton made some big saves. Was it Aaron Connolly, their lad up front, I think? But he made some big saves. But we'll get into all of that on Sunday, man. Not doing a Bristol Rovers preview. I'll do a bit of detail before the game. And hopefully linking up with Saj in time for food. If not food after. I need to take him for food, man. It's been bad, innit? But yeah, man. Big up all you legends. And I will catch you all on the next one. See you later, peeps.